Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Trade Ideas Live Trading Room Recap for Tuesday, August the 28th. My name is Barry Anderson, moderator of your room. Questions for me, you can use this email address. Link for our free room. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our free trading room. I open the room at 9 o'clock. That's when I start to share my screen and get live on the mic at about 9:05. I go to 3:30 Mondays to Thursdays, so I keep saying I've been knocking off about 3:15. Probably do that for the balance of August, which is only another week. One moment, please. Just one moment. Just got to answer that phone. All right, I'm now resuming. So where was I? Yeah, I say I've been knocking off at about 3:15 on from Monday to Thursday, and 3 o'clock on Fridays. Probably back to normal next week. Next week being man, already we're in September. So of course we have the Labor Day holiday on Monday. All right, let's see. Let me get rid of this. What did I do today? I have another exciting day, you know. I just want to, and we'll go over one thing, but first I just want to tell you, you know, if you're watching in the room yesterday, you know that I really wanted to take this NEPT. It is one of those, cannabis plays out of Canada, and I watched it in the pre-market. Now, I was also, of course, watching Cron. Cron had a huge pop in the pre-market, and then, you know, really sold off, along with CGC. You know, here's a, you know, it wasn't a pop in the pre-market, but it was really holding well in the pre-market, and then it started to sell off. The other one, of course, is TLRY. TLRY. And a little pop in the pre-market, and then the sell-off, kind of flat right now. Anyway, with NEPT, while I was watching Cron and the rest of them seemed to be holding, and I decided to take this trade right here at 410. And I just didn't like the way it was trading, and I got out with it for a nickel loss. All right, this is pre-market, and then look what it did. So very glad that I got out of that. Still interested in it. Have an alert set for 410 again, and we'll see what happens. See if these the cannabis stocks can kind of recoup a little bit. Of note, TLRY does have earnings this afternoon after the market closes. Will be interesting to see what happens. I don't think. I mean, look. I mean, if you're in this one, it's not because they're going to have great earnings. It's for really, I think a lot of people are thinking that maybe DEO is going to take a run at them and do an investment, not unlike Constellation Brands did with CGC. All right, well, a few trades actually today. So, you know, I just want to go over, you know, not the boring ones. I did take a Holly trade with QD, which did not do very much. You know, I really only want to talk about one because it goes to the fact that a lot of people get really, really anxious that they have to trade right off the bat, you know, in the first 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, even 30 minutes, okay? And, you know, I've never been one like that. Well, I shouldn't say that. When I first started out, of course, what would happen is I see these ones that would just rip from the open and say, man, why couldn't I have got into that one? And yes, you're absolutely right. You see these ones that rip on the open, and then you think, okay, tomorrow I'm going to get that one. And then, of course, what happens? The thing rips briefly, and then it drops. So immediately you're saddled with a bit of a loss. And sometimes, you know, because you know the action is pretty fast and furious in the first minute or two, you may not be able to get out where you want to. You know, it may blow right through your stop. So anyway, that is typically why I just don't. I'm not so anxious to trade right off the bat. I don't mind waiting for a setup, etc., etc. So long-winded here. Why did I take AFMD? So AFMD had tremendous news after hours yesterday. The mauve area right there is the after hours action. And first of all, you have to, for the bigger picture, you have to take a look from where this has come. So look on the daily chart. And I don't mean that. You got to move back here. So this has been like really creamed. I mean, look where it got up to, 22, 24, 24. Granted, I mean, this was silliness probably, but I mean, it really got knocked down. And so the news today was that Roche, R-O-C-H-E, basically, I guess we'll call it a collaboration with them. They gave them 96 million upfront. This has 45 million in the float, so it's not super low floater, but you know, nonetheless, it 96 million on a $45 million float is good. There's the 200-day moving average. Of course, it broke right through there. Let me get back to the 15-minute time frame. So this was all the action after hours. I didn't see it then, but when I was doing my pre-market work, of course I saw it here. And not only is it $96 million now, here's where, of course, everybody, the traders, they look at this and say, with the potential, also, I think it was $5 billion over the course of I don't want to call it a contract, but with the potential of $5 billion down the road. So anyway, the good news, though, is definitely $96 million up front. So anyway, I watched this one for a while. It wasn't really doing very much, and then on that little move there, that got me interested. Thought, okay, looks like it's trying to move. The volume wasn't actually tremendous. I would have liked to see one of these volume candles, but nonetheless, at least it was a move or a volume burst past this one. That candle, that's the 50-minute candle. So anyway, bottom line is I got into it right here at 445. I believe this was one of those nickel spreaders. That's close enough. And then it had a nice pop, nice move all the way up. I took some out at 475, 480, and my last bid at 5 as it was, looked like it was struggling to maintain 5, and it got all the way up to 536. Obviously, I wish I had sold some here. I didn't have that much left though, so I had to go a little bit further for me to, make it worthwhile. But anyway, I got out the last bid at 5, just around here, and some of it right around here. So on a percentage basis, that basically made my day because I was able to take a few shares because I had a relatively tight stop on it. It wasn't going to be any more than 10 cents. So just a great move. But I guess the bottom line though is that just because you miss all this, just have some patience, wait for a setup, and if it sets up, hop on it. Another one that worked out okay, CHRS. This came from our composite filter that is coming soon. If you're not familiar with what I'm talking about, this is the composite don't repeat. This is a custom formula that we have created that encompasses fundamental data and technical data, and we've made this really nice custom formula. You can have it. You cannot have it, so don't ask me for it. We're hoping to add it as a standard filter soon. I don't know what soon means. I don't know if that's 2 weeks. I don't know if that's 3 weeks. I don't know if it's 1 month, but we are planning to add it soon, all right? Anyway, I got the alert here at 2010. Ended up taking this trade right at 2020. Got all the way up to 2067 pretty quickly, too. I got in at 2020, and I sold out 2040 and 2050. This one was too bad. This is one that I actually took a little loss on. DSW, we watched forever. I kept watching, at least I was watching it forever. This is an earnings play, waiting to see if it could take out the high right there in the pre-market. This was an earnings play. Look at it on the daily chart. You can see why we were kind of excited about it. Big break, on the daily. Big break. So kept waiting for it to maybe take out this right there. Now, as it basically was not doing it, I thought, okay, maybe I should just flip the script and short this thing. So I ended up shorting it at, I think it was 32.75. That's what it was, 32.75. Close enough. So I shorted it. I guess it was on this candle. Yeah, I think it was because it actually popped down there, and then it looked like it was. And then look what this one. Now you can't see. This doesn't tell the great picture, but look what you see of that topping tail right there. That got me out. That got me out because I thought, okay, maybe it's going to reverse and start to move higher. Remember, this is an earnings play, and it's all positive. So it got me out for a 10-cent loss, and literally, I would say within a minute or so, look what it did. Got all the way down to 31.61. Remember now, I was in at 32.75, so there was a nice dollar. I'm not saying I would have got out right there, covered it right there, but certainly in this area. But, it happens, but I had to obey my stop. And the next time I don't obey that stop, and think, oh, remember what happened to this stock the other day. Not saying I would do the same thing with this stock, but I'm just saying, say I had a similar setup, and thinking, oh yeah, but I remember one stock I was in and it moved down after it popped up. Yeah, you know what'll happen? The next time I won't obey my stop, and this time it'll keep moving up higher and higher and higher. So instead of that, very, very manageable loss, it turns into something that, I would not want to have had. So, you just have to, it's just a chuckle. I mean, all I did was kind of chuckle at when something like that happens. And that, I had a nice little short on Cree. I did Billy a couple of times, but just want to, yeah, not basically the AFMD because of the percentage move kind of made my day for me. So that's about it. I want to get back into the room. Just bring back the capture program. So if you have any questions for me, this is the email address you can use. A link for our free room, 100% free. You don't have to be a member of Trade Ideas to be in our room. And this is a link for a subscription to Trade Ideas. There's a promo code there for an instant 15% off. 15% off. And I'll open the room tomorrow at about 9 o'clock Eastern Time. So I hope everybody has a great evening, and we'll see you in our trading room tomorrow. Bye.